Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. In this show, we're going to wrap up the local basketball season because all of our local teams here are done playing. We begin things with the North Georgia Christian boys, who advanced to the state championship finals with a 73-50 win over Trinity Christian out of Statesboro in a game played in Macon. Norris Rediger led the Chargers in scoring with 22 in that one. Chris Palmer scored 18, and Justin Law added 11 for the Chargers, who then went up against old nemesis Dawson Christian Academy for the GICAA Division 2A state championship in Milledgeville. That one again went to Dawson, 58-46, as Dawson had a big fourth quarter. Palmer had 16 to Rediger 14. We bring to the show now Coach David Roberts, who is the head coach for the Chargers. And David, we invited you back, and thanks for coming in again, man.
Well, thank you for having me back.
I know you and I both been doing some storm cleanup, but it's one of those kind of things that you got to do after all that ice and snow, which really affected a lot of the ways people played games all across the state.
Well, we were lucky not to have any changes on our schedule. We traveled on Tuesday night with the threat of ice coming in, and then we went and played again on Friday as well. So it didn't affect us, luckily, because that would have been tough to have to play back-to-back, like I know East Hall had to do. That would have been tough to do that. Yeah,
the East Hall girls, we'll talk about them in just a little bit. They really had a monumental task. Now, but tell me about the games now. First of all, the semifinal game where you beat Trinity Christian.
Well, we came in with a great game plan, and the boys executed it to perfection. We really had that game wrapped up midway through the third quarter, and it was fun. We had a lot of guys get a chance to go in and play. We absolutely shut down their two best players with suffocating defense, and our guys just played probably their best game of the season in that Final Four game. So I was proud of them.
So then you go and play somebody that you've been seeing a lot of, and you talked to me, said before that, when we talked last time, you said, no, we can beat these people. We've got a shot at these people. It's not like they've been blowing us out and all this kind of stuff. But then you get into them, and obviously they're a pretty good ball club.
Well, we had a great game plan going in. The boys in the first half played awesome. We were winning at the half 24-21, I think, and executed the game plan and shut down their best two defenders. Shut down their best two players. They just have a great starting five, and guys number 3, 4, and 5 ended up beating us. We went into the game saying, let's not let the first two guys beat us. Let's make some of the other guys win. And, well, they made great adjustments at the half, and guys number 3, 4, and 5 for them just shot our eyes out, and they ran away with it in the fourth quarter.
But you had it close.
We did. We were close. We was a ball game all the way into the fourth quarter. It was a single-digit game. We had to start fouling, and they made their free throws, and we couldn't put it in when it really counted. Well,
second in the state, though, not too bad, and you've been there a lot.
I know. It was a great season for our guys. I'm proud of them. They played so hard. They played so well. They came such a long – what a great season to win 25 or 26 games or whatever it was. I'm just so proud of what they accomplished and what they did.
Well, anytime you can win over 20, that's a pretty good season.
Yeah, it really will.
Well, Coach got to ask you what you got coming back.
Well, we're going to miss those 6 seniors that are leaving.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys played a lot of serious minutes for us. But like you said, you mentioned the 3 guys that are juniors right now: Chris Palmer, Norris Rediger, Justin Law. All were our top scorers all year. They're all juniors. They're coming back.
Okay.
Davis Martin's coming back. We had a guy on injured reserve this year, Austin Farmer, who can play a lot of ball for us. He didn't play at all this year, so he'll come back. And then we got a lot of our JV team went 18-2 and won the region championship. And we got some guys coming up from there that should be pretty good too. So I'm expecting to be good again next year. But the bad thing about Dawson is they're all 9th and 10th graders. So they ain't going anywhere. We'll have to see them again for sure. So
the Dawson from Dawson County, is that where they're
Dawson Christian School, yes sir. They're all 9th, 10th graders, so they'll be 10th and 11th graders. I won't be able to get away from them.
That's a heck of a thing. That's a heck of a thing. Well, congratulations, David. Second in the state, not too bad, with some talent coming back. I appreciate you coming by again, and good luck in starting that baseball team.
Yes,
over
sir.
there.
We're going to go start hitting that ball around a little bit today. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Thanks again to David Roberts for coming in. Now, the East Hall and Johnson boys ran into respective number 1 ranked teams in AAA and 4A in the round of 8, and both the Vikings and Knights saw their seasons come to an end East Hall lost to the top-ranked Laney Wildcats 92-67, while Johnson saw its perfect season end at the hands of number 1 Jonesboro in a suffocating defensive effort by the Cardinals 50-35. Jacqueline Hopkins led East Hall with 23 points in their last game, while Kevon Davenport added 18, and the Vikings will end up at 24-6 on the season. By the way, the team that beat East Hall, Laney, fell to Morgan County in the AAA semifinals. Now, in 4A, Johnson's Knights were led by Rod English with 13 and Ty Cockfield with 11, including a late slam for a tie with the game virtually decided. Tracy Hector Jr. and DeAndre Ware had 15 each to lead Jonesboro, with Coach Dan Melman noting that Hector played hurt against what he described as a very good Johnson team.
Our guys in the first half didn't really execute what we were supposed to do defensively, and we've been struggling with that a little bit. In the second half, you could see when they execute the game plan against – that's a very good team, but two very good players in Ty and the other kid, I think his name's Jenkins, English. But, you know, my kid, Kenneth Qualls, number 11, that took away Ty. I don't know how many Ty ended up with. But, I mean, the kid's
finished with double figures.
He's averaging 30.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
The other kid's averaging 20.
Yeah. Well,
so
defense was the story of the game, Coach. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, that's all we work on. I mean, it's not – we know offensively if we struggle any night, if we play good defense, which is what we do all the time, in practice everywhere, we're going to have a shot to win the game.
Talk about, man, Tracy Hector coming off of that injury and just playing like he had.
Oh, he's hurt.
Yeah.
He's hurt. I mean, he's at like maybe 70%.
Wow.
He went to the doctor today to get a steroid shot just so he could play.
Wow.
I mean, he's got a serious tendon in his left foot that is almost disconnected.
Wow.
And he doesn't want to sit down.
Wow.
It just shows the heart and the dedication that these kids have.
Yeah. Well, Final Four.
Yeah, going back to the Final Four. I don't know anything about Liberty, who we play next, but you can bet I'll be on the phone tonight.
Do people have any idea how tough it is to repeat?
No, you know, obviously this is my first time trying to do it. And I mean, just imagine coming to this atmosphere as a high school kid, regardless of what you're ranked, and play in front of, I mean, that crowd was amazing. It was loud. My kids couldn't hear me. I mean, it's just, you got to take one game at a time once you get here, and you just got to have faith in your kids, which I do. I can't play, I can only coach them. I can give them the plan, and they got to execute it. And if they don't, sometimes it gets a little hairy, but, you know, they always come through in the end somehow. So we're down to 2 games. We're going to worry about this next one first before that last one.
Melbourne's Cardinals, by the way, will now play Carrollton for the 4A state title after Jonesboro beat Liberty County 71-43 in the semifinals. You know, it's too bad they and Johnson could not have met later than the round of 8, but that's the way it goes. As for Johnson coach Jeff Steele, he said simply the better team that night won.
A tough one here. The defense was pretty suffocating for them, and guys sometimes just struggle to get off a shot.
Yeah, it's the best I've seen. Their coach and myself have developed a good relationship over the last 3 or 4 days with all this weather and the coin toss and whatnot. And to me personally, it was an honor to get to play them. And quite honestly, the better team won. I mean, I just think they're a better team than us, and I can live in that moment, because if you get beat by somebody that's better than you got to tip your hat. They did things that we haven't seen. They defended us like we have not experienced. Since I've never coached a team, in my opinion, that defends as well as they do, and I've been doing this a long time. So, you know, and I'm proud of my kids. We fought, we scratched, we clawed, came up short, but that doesn't diminish what they've done this year. We've made history here at Johnson, 29 wins, 3rd region championship in a row, and get to the Elite Eight. I'm extremely proud of my guys.
What did you tell them?
Well, I hadn't even been in there yet.
Oh.
So I'm going to go in there and tell them I love them.
What are you going to tell them?
I'm going to tell them I love them, and, you know, the better days are ahead for the seniors, especially Ty and Rod. They're going to move on to bigger and better things, and I know it hurts right now, but in time, you know, time takes care of a lot of things, and in time we'll reflect and we'll be able to appreciate all the things that we've done this year, actually the past 2 or 3 years.
Other than all the victories, what are you going to take away from this year with this team? Is it the family atmosphere?
No, absolutely. Yeah, we got the shirts made up. Yeah, I love these kids. That's going to be the toughest thing for me, because they're like my own children, more so than any team I've ever coached. And that's no knock on any other team. I've loved them too. But for some reason, you know, I guess, you know, me being recently married and Donna being able to entertain with cooking and whatnot, we've just become so close, and that's going to be the hardest thing for me, is to let these guys go, kind of like kicking your kids out of the house to grow up and be a man or a woman. You know, that's what it feels like. So it's going to hurt.
Now, Rod English was too emotional to speak after the loss, but Cockfield did talk with us on behalf of his band of brothers.
Emotional finish to the year, of course, not the finish you wanted, but sometimes the other guys just got a good night.
Right, yes sir, yes sir. I mean, they were a good team. They locked us down defensively, and we really couldn't play our game.
You finished with a dunk. That was a little bit of something to say, yeah, we're still fighting, we're still here.
Right, yes sir. I mean, I wanted to kind of end it in a good way. It is my senior year, so I kind of wanted to go out with a bang.
All right, what are you going to take away? All, the repeat is linear land, repeat is reach. I mean, a great record. Not the ending you wanted, but what are you going to take away from this season, Ty, besides all these wins and titles and things?
My family, man, my brothers, they all my family. We all love each other, and we all here for each other no matter what, even after the season.
What about for you now? You got some people looking at you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to just take all my visits and I'm going to rest for a little week, and then I'm going to get back to it.
And Johnson will end a very good season at 29-1. Now, for the girls, the East Hall Lady Vikings played their way into the semifinals when they upset Calhoun on the road 68-54. First time that they'd made the Final Four since 2007 when they won it all. Balanced scoring led the Lady Vikes into the Final Four. Jenny Edwards, despite getting into foul trouble, paced the team with 14 points, 10 of those in the fourth quarter. Chelsea Dale had 13. Chelsea Dale with 13. Jatazu Bailey and Carly Winters adding 11 points each. Kyla Mize put in 9, and Ashlyn Ellison contributed 8. Mize, Bailey, Dale, and Winters each knocked down key three-pointers. But the quick turnaround proved to be a bit much for the Lady Vikes as they lost to Beach out of Savannah 47-38 in the semifinals played at Columbus State University. The East Hall girls closed within 3 at the end of the third quarter, 33-30, only to run out of gas and run out of time. And again, the loss, 47-38. Kyla Mize led the Lady Vikings with 17 points on the night.
Just some thoughts as the way the season ended here. Tough playing back-to-back.
I think we had a good season. We had fun playing basketball, and everybody progressed, and it was fun playing with my team, and I loved them. So.
How tough was it to play back-to-back? Did you get a little tired there at the end? It seemed like some of the shots were just not falling. Probably it would have fell.
Yeah, it was tough playing back-to-back because all the long bus rides and everything, we just need to be ready next time.
What are you going to take away from the season? What's going to mean the most to you about this season?
Playing with my team. So yeah, I love playing with my team, and we all have fun throughout the season, and we all bonded and became better as a team, playing as a team.
Now, Kyla Mize is just a sophomore. Junior Jenny Edwards, second leading scorer on the night, had 8 points. For coach of East Hall, the coach of East Hall, Justin Wheeler, had no excuses.
Final game here, you were within 3 at the end of 3.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of slowly crept. What was it, the fatigue factor?
I wouldn't say fatigue. We just didn't have it tonight. It wasn't just the fourth quarter. We played bad first quarter, played okay the second quarter, third quarter was okay. In the fourth quarter, we just couldn't turn the corner. Get a few more points to get the lead. So, but the girls played hard. We're proud of what they've done all year. They worked hard. So we're just gonna try to come back next year and make a run. But those girls in that locker room, we're proud of them, and they had a great season.
What is it about tournament time that does it for East Hall?
I don't know. Maybe we take it up a notch. Maybe we know our backs are against the wall. We're just fortunate enough to play well at this time of the year. And we're just fortunate to peak at the end of the season. It's nothing in particular that we do. We just go out and play hard every game.
But it had to be tough to play like last night and then turn right around and play again. Sometimes people don't realize how much basketball is involved in your legs.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, we played yesterday at 4 o'clock, had to hit the road, leave Calhoun and come back all the way to Columbus. You don't get a chance to prepare for the team like you want to, and who knows, they might be preparing for you for a week. So I mean, it's not the ideal situation that you want, but I mean that's what we got. So.
What about this season? What are you going to take away from it besides the 20 wins and making the Final Four? I mean, that's a big deal.
You just want to enjoy the moment. Sometimes you get caught up in it and you don't get a chance to enjoy it, but off season will give us a chance to look back and see what we've done, and then we can look at everything and see what we need to do to improve to get over this hump. Hopefully this isn't the last time we get to the Final Four, so we're just going to keep working.
Most of Coach Justin Wheeler's team will return for next year. And East Hall will end their first Final Four season since 2007 at 20-11, and Beach will play Laney for the AAA State Championship. By the way, Thanks to guest videographer Tim T. Moon. I appreciate his help in covering the East Hall girls game. Now, the Gainesville girls' journey ended in the Elite Eight in a 47-25 loss to top-rated Mays. Cold shooting doomed the Lady Elephants, who reportedly went more than 11 minutes without a field goal in the middle of the game. Brianna Fair did have 12 for Gainesville, who loses only 2 seniors and finishes at 22-9 on the season. Mays will go on to play Stevenson for the 5A championship on the girls' side. We jump back in the pool in just a moment. Gary Glenn back on the set of Hall County Sports Television along with Rob Bruce, who is the pastor at McEver Road United Methodist Church. And Rob, into a series on prayer now.
Yeah, that's right, Gary. We will be in a series on prayer up until Palm Sunday. We'll be talking about how you can rest assured that God hears your prayer, how I should pray, what can I pray for, those type of things.
All right, sounds like an interesting topic. Look forward to hearing it, Rob. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Hall County Sports is also brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals, and remember, when you go Green Ford. By Turner Wood & Smith, serving the insurance needs of our area for over 100 years. And by McEver Road United Methodist Church on McEver Road in Oakwood. Loving Christ, loving people, and helping people love Christ. We're back. I'm Gary Glenn, Hall County Sports Television. Now, this week on the show, we'll wrap up our conversations with our individual state champions from the wintertime sports. Now, you may remember that we talked to wrestling champs Michael Carew of North Hall and Elliott Rayford of West Hall last week, along with swimming gold medalist Colin Monahan of Gainesville. Well, this week it's swimmer Ty Powers of North Hall, who also got in on the All-American honors, along with his sometimes training partner Monahan, as Ty repeated as state 50-yard freestyle champ in 20.47 seconds. And he was the runner-up in the 100 free in 45.22, an All-American time and only 1/10 of a second behind the winner. Now, Ty has been recuperating at home from ear surgery, which he hopes will be the last in a series of surgeries. And as he recovered last week, his mom, who's had to play chauffeur for a while because of Ty's operation, brought him by the studio. Ty Powers taking time out to be with us today. And Ty, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, you talk to me first of all about the state meet now. You went in as the defending champion, and that's always a little bit of pressure on you to try to defend a title, right?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Well, I was definitely there's a lot of better competition, or not better, because I lost my brother. He was my main competition last year. But there were still a lot of rising people this year that I had to compete against. And, yeah, the pressure was on. I mean, I was third in prelims going into finals, so that was a little more pressure after prelims. And also third in the 100 free. So I knew defending that would be a lot harder. But luckily I pulled a good race out, and so I did.
Well, and as the defending champion of the 50 free, as you said, and then you decided to swim the 100 as well. And finished second, I believe, in that one.
Yeah,
is that right?
Second. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, tell me about both of those races now. I mean, the 50 free's over in just a quick bit, and then you got the 100 is a little bit longer race, of course, obviously.
Yeah. Well, definitely they're both sprints. They're both sprint races. That's the two fastest. The 50 is the fastest race in the pool that there is. That you can do. And I mean, that's the one where you're not going to breathe. You're not going to. I mean, this is like a dive in, all out from beginning to end, you know. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of also the 100 free. But in the 50, you don't want to breathe. That's going to slow you down if you're breathing. I did for some reason. Don't really know why, but I ended up doing it. But that's just kind of the race that you really have to go all out, and every millisecond, millisecond, tenth of a second matters, because that's the race that you're winning by 0.1 and 0.2 of a second. And so that's the closest race, and that's the one where you have to have everything perfect. And if you don't, if you have a bad dive that adds, I don't know, 0.3 of a second to your time, then that could be the difference between first and third place. So everything you do and every technical and strength and every aspect of that race is the most important one. So.
Well, I mean, you almost have to do a perfect thing, don't you?
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I mean, if you want to go out there and win, and you're shaved and you're rested, you have to have the perfect race to win. So.
Wow. Now I'm looking at your times right here that I got. I guess it was out of the paper or maybe off of the internet, off of Access. 20:47 for the 50, 45:22 for the 100. Runner up in only 1/10 of a second behind the winner in the 100. Are those, you fairly well pleased with those times, Ty?
Yeah, in my 50, I was happy with it because I brought home a win, but that wasn't my best time. I was hoping for a 19 this year, but just, I mean, God's got a plan for everything, so it just wasn't my time for it. But I was happy that I won that. And then my 100, the 45.2, that was the best time. I actually missed my third turn on the 100, so I believe I could have won that race, but. I mean, like I said, the 100 is also the second fastest race in the pool. So, I mean, you have to do almost everything perfect in that race, too, to win. And I had a really bad third turn. And I think that added about 0.2 to 0.3 of a second on my time. So I would have been under that 45 mark, but it wasn't my time for that either. But that was the best time, so I was really happy with that.
Well, what has that taught you? What has swimming taught you besides how to swim fast?
Really, one thing it's taught me a lot about is discipline. Because if you're not in the pool I'm practicing 9 times a week plus weights 5 times a week. And that's in the water 9 times, and then all the weights Monday through Friday. And not only is the practice hard, but you got to eat right, you got to sleep. I mean, because sleep is your #1 recovery form. So you're sleeping, you're eating right. You got to practice, you got to train, you got to keep your grades up so you can swim. And so it's really just taught me a lot of discipline in a lot of areas of life, mainly because I think if you don't have that, you're not going to be the greatest person you can be. And especially like giving up a lot of times with your friends and family, hanging out with everybody. That's that's kind of a hard thing that you got to learn to work through, but you eventually get through it, and your friends understand eventually. And like, hey, you want to hang out? I'd be like, no, I got swim practice. I gotta sleep. So,
you know, I've talked to various people who've won championships at so many levels: state champions, wrestlers, swimmers, weightlifters, etc. And they all come to that. I mean, you got to put in the physical training. You got to have a little bit of physical talent as well, and sometimes and a lot of physical talent if you're going to take it to the elite levels.
No doubt.
But the mental thing. A lot of the winning and losing's right here, isn't it? Between the ears.
No doubt. I can definitely say with this state meet, it was all a mental game for me because swimming, there's prelims and finals, and if you at this meet, I think it was top 20 they had. If you made top 20 in prelims, you got to go to finals, and you could only win. There's only 10 lanes of the pool, so you can only win if you were in the first heat or the first 10, and then they have the B final, which is the 11 through 20. And so I had really bad swims, or not really bad, but not what I was expecting. And I ended up third in both of those going into finals. And so if I would definitely say swimming is a major mental game, just like any other sport. You know, you have to know what you're going to do, and know that you're going to see that on the board. Because if you're thinking about the guy next to you, if you're thinking about like, man, he's really big, he's strong, he's tall, he's 2 inches taller than me, he's going to beat me. You know, if you're thinking that, then you're not going to be the best that you can be, because you're in his mind now. You're not in your own mind. And so that's one thing I believe that. And honestly, that's one of the big things my coaches put upon us is you have to like believe in yourself. You can't believe that they're going to do it, that they're going to beat you. You have to believe that you're going to win.
So now it's on to Tennessee.
Yeah.
You looking forward to that?
Oh, yeah.
College thing, you know?
No doubt. Definitely.
And you get to swim one of your training partners. You still get to swim against him.
Oh, yeah.
Colin Monahan had him on the show last week, and he talked about swimming for Georgia, swimming at Tennessee. So, but the college experience should be something, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, what I'm really excited about at college is that I'm going to have a really big team, because recently on my team, it's really just been me and my brother training together, and now that he's gone, I do train with Colin some in the mornings. In the afternoons, it's usually I'm just training by myself.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's hard. Which I do have a team, and there's some good kids on there, but there's a lot of like 14 and 15-year-olds that are pretty good. And I mean, I'm 17, so it's kind of hard training with them. I don't know, just a physical difference. But what I'm really excited for college is just having that team environment and that team aspect of really lifting one another up and training with one another and pushing one another. And so I think that's going to be the greatest thing. And yeah, with Colin, man, we're both going to be in the SEC, so SEC champs. That's going to be one heck of a meet we're going to be at.
That's pretty cool. Ty, you know, the swimming though really has come on in Hall County in recent years, hasn't it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, much better than probably since you were, in your early teens, huh?
Yeah, no doubt. I think that has to do with a lot of the swimmers in Hall County that have really brought the sport, including my brother. I mean, Colin, Tristan, Colin, all those people. Bringing up swimming into the biggest level there is, and I think that has to do a lot with just kind of people are finally recognizing it as a sport. A lot of times people are just like, oh, let's just go swim for fun, but a lot of people don't see it as a competitive sport. But I think with the people that have brought the sport into Hall County, multiple swimmers, they've really gotten it big is what's really grown it. So.
Well, good luck at Tennessee, and maybe one day on the international level. That would be way cool.
Oh, no doubt. That's definitely one of my major goals, to be an international swimmer. Yeah.
All right.
Travel around for that.
I hear you. It's kind of fun, too.
Oh, yeah.
I've been overseas. It's kind of neat to represent the U.S. of A.
Yeah.
Ty Powers, Swim North Hall state champion, and good luck at Tennessee,
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Good luck to all of our wintertime state champions. Ty goes on to swim for Tennessee. Colin Monahan of Gainesville goes on to swim for the University of Georgia, and wrestler Elliott Rayford of the Spartans of West Hall will go on to wrestle for Appalachian State. Michael Carew, by the way, just a junior at North Hall. Spring sports getting into full swing. Those stories when we come back. Your one-stop spot for complete auto repair is the Auto Works shop on Sprout Springs Road. On everything from oil changes to brakes, new and used tires and tune-ups, even the big jobs like transmissions. The specialists at the Auto Works can have you up and running just like that. You talk about value. The Auto Works will not be undersold on used tires or any locally priced repair job. Ask about special discounts for students and teachers with your ID. That's the Auto Works at 6671 Spout Springs Road, just past Flowery Branch High and Spout Springs Elementary Schools. Phone 770-967-1732. Gary Glenn kind of wrapping up from last week, and they did manage to get some things in between all of the snowing. In baseball, Lakeview thumped Johnson 11-1. Bailey Whitlock picked up a couple of hits and an RBI. Rob Hamby, Rob Collison, and J.D. Rourke also had hits and knocked runs in for the Lions. North Hall opened the season with 11-0 walloping of George Walton Academy. Corbin Lou Allen went the distance and struck out 3 to get the win. 7 Trojans had at least 1 RBI, led by Micah Strickland, who had a pair of doubles and 2 runs driven in. Drew Coker and Aaron Miles also had 2 RBI apiece. And the Trojans then blanked North Forsyth 2-0. Lou Allen got another complete game shutout, scattering 3 hits and striking out 7. Aaron Miles and Micah Strickland each had a hit. Tabor Mongero scored on a wild pitch, while Fowler Brooks came home on a squeeze bunt by Matthew Cox in the top of the 7th. Flowery Branch thumped Central Gwinnett 9-1. Trevor Roof was scoreless through 4 innings and struck out 6 to earn the win. Andrew Nolt had a homer and 3 RBI, while Stephen Skeggs and Jonathan Hughes each doubled with an RBI. The Branch then lost to Jackson County 10-7. East Hall beat Johnson 8-2 to open the Vikings season. Cole Smith had a 2-run single and a 4-run 7th, wound up with 3 hits and 3 RBI. Levi Crocker added 3 hits for East Hall. Jack Hagwood went 5 innings, gave up only 2 hits, and struck out 6 to get the win. 3 Gainesville pitchers combined on a no-hitter. Kind of unusual, but they combined on a no-hitter as the Red Elephants opened their season with a 3-0 win over Jefferson. Jonathan Geddes got the win after pitching 5 innings and striking out 11 Dragon batters. Harrison Stiles pitched the 6th inning and Michael Curry the 7th. Curry also helped out the offense with a hit and an RBI. Frederick Cardona also had a hit, walk, and was hit by a pitch to get on base 3 times. Brenau University honored its own, paying tribute to the number 3 nationally ranked Golden Tigers swimming team during halftime ceremonies at a Saturday home basketball game. The team was recognized for its recent championship in the Appalachian Swimming Conference meet, as well as its ranking by the College Swimming Coaches Association of America as the top academic team in the country. The Tigers will participate in the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics Championship swim meet in Oklahoma City, that going on through Saturday. And the 2015 Walmart Bass Fishing League continues its season with 3 tournaments this weekend, including one here locally on Lake Lanier. The Bulldog Division tournament opens its season at Laurel Park. Reportedly, up to 400 boaters and co-anglers will be competing for top awards of up to $8,000 and $3,000 respectively in the one-day events. And once again, we want to thank the Times and Access North Georgia for some of the information and images on this particular show. That's our show for this week. I'm Gary Glenn. Join us next week right here for more Hall County Sports.